Okay, so today we will start with the new topic, that is aptitude. So we have already discussed about attitude and the theories of attitude. We have discussed the three theories and how attitude can be changed, how attitude is formed. We have discussed how attitude can be changed. We have discussed. Okay, so here we will talk about aptitude. Yeah, Praveen, please turn off your mic.
Okay, sir.
So aptitude, when we talk about, it is actually connected to, so the topic is what? Your syllabus is aptitude and foundational values for civil services. So we will discuss what is aptitude and I'll try to connect it with attitude. So in case if they're asking any theoretical question, the difference between aptitude and attitude, you should be in a position to answer. And then we will focus on foundational values for civil service. So basically, two cases we'll discuss there. Nolan Committee we will discuss, and then we will also discuss about ARC. I don't want you to read ARC completely, but if possible, you can go for that. I'll tell you later, not now. So we will start with aptitude. So when we discuss about aptitude, it basically is the ability or capacity of the individual. So aptitude is, it's the skill or the ability or the capacity or the skill. So it it can be related to knowledge also. Okay, so in different language you can understand aptitude. It may be your potential, it may be the skill, it may be the knowledge, or it may be the natural inclination. So you might have some inherent talent. Okay, some may be acquired talent, some will be inherent talent. Everything will be part of this. Okay, so it's all related to the ability or the capacity, the skill, the potential, the knowledge, the talent, the natural inclination. Okay, so for example, Sachin, you can talk about example. So there is an inclination towards sports. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, when you talk about, he's having inclination towards goalkeeping, and that skill actually helped him later, right? So already there is an inclination when you see that he was a goalkeeper, and when his coach have seen him keeping the goalkeeping very well, so he have taken him as a wicket keeper. So already that inclination is there. So when, if you have already a natural inclination, then with training you will be able to do it well. Okay, that's what we are actually doing in the case of civil service also. Actually, through the exam your aptitude will be checked. Forget about this ethics paper and interview, there your attitude also will be checked. Otherwise, in your prelims and GS papers, social optional paper, etc., your aptitude, that means your ability, your capacity, your inclination, etc., will be checked. And if you are proving that you have this inclination, okay, then you will be trained. It will be in Labasna, it will be in National Police Academy. Okay, and with that there will be a full scale development. This is what actually happened with like for example Oliver Kahn or Neymar or Messi, any example if you see. Okay, so already there will be some inclination. That's what we are talking about. Knowledge, so it's not necessarily inherent all the time, it can be acquired also. And different people will be at different level. Some will be like, you can again talk about at the best level, at the top level, moderate level, different level aptitude we can see, low. Okay, now again within this, if you talk about Sachin may be good at cricket, but he may be very bad at maths, right? So the aptitude for the same person, maybe for different aptitudes will be there. Okay, for example, Sachin is good at cricket, may not be good at maths. So same person will have different aptitude for different situation or for different scenarios. Okay, so I hope this is understood in simple language. If I explain what is aptitude, this is what you need to know: ability or the inclination. Now, why is it important when it comes to the civil service? It is basically based on your inclination. You are selected whether you have a natural inclination towards this particular position that you are going to do. And then training will be easy, right? Because you are already inclined to that. and then the training will be easy. You're already doing all this hard work and you have already knowledge about the history, geography and everything. So training you will be very easy. Okay, then that lead to the full scale potential, and then you will be appointed as DM, SP, etc. So I hope you understood. So it's all related to the competency, capacity, ability, skill, inclination. Okay, so I can say aptitude is a natural or acquired talent. It is not necessary that naturally you may have some talent. It may be acquired also. That's what I've told you. It can be inherent or acquired, or it can be the combination of both also. So aptitude is natural or acquired talent of an individual to develop capacity in a particular thing through the method of training and practices. So if you already have an inclination, then through the training, that lead to full scale development of that individual in that particular field. For example, Dhoni have that inclination for goalkeeping, and his coach have seen him keeping the goal or goalkeeping very well. So he asked Dhoni whether you are interested in playing cricket. Can you keep the wicket? From there, you know what happened. Then the training, then the full scale development, and all those things actually happened. So this is about aptitude. Now, how is it applicable in civil service? That's what we need to discuss. So the point here is different people have different aptitude for different things, right? I might have some aptitude. You may have some another aptitude. I'm good at maths. Okay, you may be good at some other subject. So that will be the case. So maybe you will be good in sport. I will be good in something else. Okay, you may be good in academic. The other person may be good in sports. Okay, so different people will have different aptitude and different aptitude level, and same person also have different levels of aptitude, right? So I've told you, Sachin, if you talk about this, okay, good. This, maybe if this is 100, this may be like 10%, right? Maybe combination also will do good in some cases. For example, if you talk about Anil Kumble, he is good in, academic as well as in cricket also. So the point here is why aptitude is important. This is the point that you need to understand. Aptitude is about inclination. That's why we are talking about this. That's why this is important when it comes to civil service. When the inclination is already there, what is easy? Training is easy. And then you will be coming up with the full scale, potential or complete development. So aptitude of civil servant will be tested through what? Tested through the exam, right? What all things are there? Like you have this logical reasoning, you have the comprehension ability, decision making. Okay, that will be checked. Okay, and then data interpretation, thinking, creative thinking, constructive thinking. So entire UPSC exam is actually based on this, and then you will be trained in Labasna or National Police Academy or whatever it is, and then you will be appointed, right? Now the question is, you can expect a question like, what is the relation between aptitude and attitude? So we have already discussed that aptitude is actually the knowledge part, right? The capacity. Attitude is the way you are going to use it, the direction in which it is going to be used. So I hope if you remember in one of the questions that we have discussed, I've told you knowledge will become dreadful if you're not using it properly. And that we have answered also, that can be asked in this particular context. That question can come in this context also. But since in that question, some values related question was there, I have put under that value chapter, morality, value, ethics, etc. When we have discussed, I have put under that, but that will best be suitable here also. Okay, morality, values, etc. We have discussed already. So when we discuss about aptitude and attitude, these are two important attributes that determines the professional success of a civil servant. That's why we are studying aptitude and foundational values for civil service, attitude of a civil servant, etc. So these are two important attributes which is required or which will actually decide the success of any civil servant. There is no question that you will have a good aptitude because you already cracked this exam, and then you have gone through the training and everything. Some more aptitude and attitude, the foundational values, everything we'll discuss, but it is your attitude, right? So once you are trained, then you are at the full scale of your potential, right? Once you coming out of National Police Academy or Labasna, you will be at your peak. right? You're getting the proper training. That means your potential is completely developed over there. But if your attitude is towards like nepotism, or supporting the capitalist, or corruption, or partisanship, or political, not political neutrality, etc., or you are favoring in terms of caste, religion, etc., or favoritism, you may not become a successful civil servant, right? So that's what the attitude decide what you are going to do actually. The aptitude is the knowledge part, the potential part, the capacity part, the skill part, but the based on the attitude, you are going to use all these knowledge or the skill that you have. So your attitude decide on what way you're actually going to work. Okay, so that question you can answer in this context also, like good values without knowledge are lame and weak. So you have good values but no knowledge, there is of no use. We have discussed this. But knowledge without values is dangerous. Right? So that you can connect in this context. If you don't have a good attitude, for example, you are a nuclear scientist and you can use that for good means, good purpose, also to create nuclear bomb also, right? Or you are a computer engineer, you can hack the systems also, or you can do it in a good way also, right? So these are the points that we need to remember. If the question is connected to aptitude and attitude, explain what is attitude, explain what is aptitude, explain the connection with them. Okay, so attitude will decide what you really do. So if you see some of the quotes, if you need to write here, Abraham Lincoln says, to test the character, give him power. And this was one of the question which was asked in 2015 essay related to power. But you could have, you can start your answer, or in between you can write this: Lord Acton, power corrupt, absolute power corrupt, absolutely. These are statements which are connected to this. Okay, and then science without religion is blind. Okay, so here science is talking about your aptitude part. Religion here may shape attitude. Religion play, I've told you, if you remember the sources of attitude, we have discussed about family, school, peer group, religion, etc. So religion, in which context I'm talking about, is attitude. Okay, so science without religion is blind means like nuclear scientist can become very dangerous if he is not using it for the better means or advancement of society. So you know the nuclear fission, fusion, and all this reaction, you can use in either way. Okay, it can be constructive, it can be destructive. That means if the aptitude that you have, the skill or the knowledge that you have, if it is driven by interest ideology or interest purpose or profit motive or parochial values, it will create problem. And if it is used for the society, okay, then means if it is based on some universal values, then it will be good. So that's about aptitude and attitude. So we will move on to the foundational values of civil service. Foundational values of civil service. So as I've told you, aptitude, it is actually the capacity or ability. Okay, so and then when you already have this capacity, you will be trained. That means the skill development or the knowledge development will be there, and this aptitude will actually help you to do something. But attitude will decide the direction in which you are using this capacity. Your attitude will decide the direction in which you are going to use your aptitude. I hope this is clear. So it is a function of various other aspects like values, morality, ethics, etc. So attitude will decide what a person really will do, actually do. You have the knowledge, it doesn't mean that you will be using this knowledge for the good things. You may use it for good, or you may use it for bad, or you may not use at all. It is the attitude which is going to decide in which direction that you're going to use this knowledge or aptitude, or it is the attitude will determine what a person actually going to do. Okay, So when we discuss about foundational values, we'll discuss mainly two. Nolan Committee. They can ask you directly Nolan Committee. Okay, it's a committee in England. Way back, we'll come to that. Nolan Committee have prescribed some values which is required. ARC also, most of them are overlapping. These are general in nature. Nolan Committee. In case if these are not asked separately, still you need to add in your answers from this any values, any specific questions are asked, or even in case studies also, you need to write the values from here. Okay, so these are general in nature, and this is what you need to write. ARC also recommended. Okay, so now few points that you can keep in mind is a civil servant is expected to work in the larger interest of the public. So the behavior of the civil servant is actually the product of his attitude, and that's why we are studying attitude. Attitude is very important, and his attitude in turn is actually a product of the value system that he follow. And that value system is developed from where? It is from the school, it is from the family, it is from the peer group, it is from the society, it is from the religion and everything. Okay, so these are the points that we have discussed. Very important: aptitude and attitude. So ARC2 recommendation, very descriptive in nature. I'll give you the most important points with respect to that in this context, the foundational values for civil service. Okay, Nolan Committee, there are 7 important values. This committee was actually in 1800s, way back, first of its kind. That's why it is important in England. Okay, so main points, if you look into ARC, all these are known to you, but we will slightly discuss in that technical way so that you will understand the exact meaning. For example, what is honesty and integrity? What is the difference between these two? There was a question, and this kind of question can also be asked. So mainly, okay, honesty and integrity. Maybe if it is required, we can discuss one by one. Impartiality or non-partisanship. So you can talk about political neutrality, etc. here. 3, transparency. We will get case studies based on this. Here also impartiality related case study. Also you will get integrity related case study. Also you will get transparency, right to information based case study. You will get accountability, dedication to public service. So if you remember in one of the question that we have discussed before, I think I've asked you, or we have solved the question that the universal values of civil servants, and that time also I have named these values: honesty, impartiality, and then dedication to public service. So I've taken actually from here: dedication to public service, empathy, compassion. We will see the difference between this: empathy, compassion, sympathy, etc. Apathy. Okay, apathy, it's not the value which is required. I told you we will discuss the difference. Then tolerance, one of the most important value. Tolerance, courage, leadership. So in this, whatever is required, a special discussion we can do. I think this we need to discuss to make the difference clear. This also we need to discuss. This I don't think much discussion is required. This I don't think is required. This we will discuss because we need to understand the actual difference. Tolerance also we will discuss. This is not required to discuss. So we'll start with the first one. That is, what is to impartiality? We will discuss now. Impartiality means you remain neutral. We will come to that. Like no nepotism, no political bias. Impartial. You will take decisions without any bias. So we will start with the first one: honesty and integrity. Okay. So honesty, everybody knows. What is integrity? Integrity is actually, maintaining honesty. If you might have studied economy, you might have heard the stock and flow concept, right? So stock means at a point of time. Flow means over a period of time. Okay, so like if I ask you what is the money that you have in pocket, that's a stock concept. What is your income? That is a flow concept, because over a period of time. So almost that is a kind of difference you can see. Honesty means At a point of time, I am talking truth now, that is honesty. But I always talk truth, that is integrity. Okay, so on integrity means maintaining that honesty. So even when nobody is watching you, even when nobody is aware about what you're doing, still you do the right thing, you speak the right thing. That is what integrity. Honesty means, yeah, I'm talking truth now. That is honesty. I'm doing right thing next day, next time. That is honesty. But every time I'm doing it, that is integrity. Okay, so in both case, what is common? Upholding truth is there in both case, but consistency is there in integrity. You tell something, you do exactly the same, and you will be in total conformity to the norm, your moral values. Okay, so being truthful in one's action and behavior, that's what honesty. Okay, so I every time you do that, that is integrity. So integrity have much more than honesty. So integrity is all about consistency. Okay, so at this point, I'm talking the truth, I'm telling the truth, I'm doing the right thing. That is honesty. Every time I'm doing the same, that is integrity. Okay, so I hope you understood integrity over a period of time, or every time you do the right thing. Okay, how you maintain yourself. Okay, you may face some inducement, even in terms of bribe, etc., but still you maintain the honesty. Otherwise, generally you are an honest civil servant, but you are put in some situations, or you may be pressurized, you may be put in front of, or under gun also, you may be subjected to, so you will be threatened, maybe your family will be threatened, and still will you violate. That is what actually integrity is talking about. So consistency, even in difficult circumstances, you may be bribed, but still you will uphold honesty. That's what integrity. So integrity means it is much more than honesty. Honesty means it's all about truthfulness, being truthful at one point of time. In integrity also it is there, but every time, even in any adverse situation, you will maintain that. Okay, so when you talk about integrity, there are three parts. What you're thinking, so thinking side also integrity is required. What you talk, in that also, and what you do. So what you think, that's what you should talk, and what you talk, that's what you should do. Consistency with all the three should be there. Okay, that's when you can see man of impeccable integrity. You can even predict the behavior. Even people will not even come to you with a gun, because even if you're even if you're going with a gun to that person, you threaten him, but you're not going to get the things done. So people will not do, they will not ready to bribe you. For example, you can talk about the case of Ganguly, right? That time what happened, the match fixing case is going on. So except Ganguly, the these people approached everyone. Asiruddin, Sachin, Jadeja, they approached everyone, but not Ganguly. They have no courage to approach Ganguly, because they know that's not going to happen, right? So he will not do that. So it is crystal clear. That's what I mean by integrity. Even others can predict what you're actually going to do. Okay, whatever you offer, you will not do that, you will not violate that honesty. So consistency, that's what you mean by integrity. What you think, right? It should be in your thinking, it should be what you speak, and what you should do, what you do, that means in action. So what you think is what you speak, what you speak is what you do. Don't show the double standard. That's what hypocrites, that's what hypocrisy. Okay, so what you think, that's what you speak, and what you speak, that's what you follow, or what you do. So that's when you can say integrity, consistency. You can predict what the person is actually going to do. Okay, so it is an unconditional commitment for your moral values. You will always follow the moral values irrespective of the situation. You may be put in a very difficult situation, you may be induced. The inducement can be on the basis of many dimensions. It can be on the basis of bribe or anything, any means the inducement can come, but still you will maintain that. Okay, so in other words, integrity is the consistency in following the moral values in all circumstances, even if the person is threatened or bribed, to commit wrong, but still you won't do it. Whatever advantage that you're going to get by doing wrong, but still you are not going to do it. Okay, so I can say that integrity is really tested when nobody is observing you. Okay, so here we are not only talking about being uncorrupt, but you need to be uncorruptible. That's the situation that we are actually talking about. There are three types of integrity: moral integrity. What do you mean by this? You can see from the term itself: consistently following the moral values, unconditional commitment to the moral values, unconditional commitment to the moral values. Okay, so every time you unconditionally follow the moral values, whatever inducement, whatever threat you face, still you follow that. Intellectual integrity. Okay, so that means you need to be very truthful in your opinion and intellectual work. That's what intellectual integrity. And then organizational integrity. This is what we are more interested in case studies also. Organizational integrity means when you join any organization, for example, once you join the service, then you need to follow, this is your personal moral value. Sometimes this will come into conflict with them. So that kind of case study we will see. There may be conflict with moral integrity as well as organizational integrity. That situation we will see later, but I hope you understood these are the three dimensions. Moral integrity is your personal. Intellectual means it is related to the intellectual aspect. And then organizational, when you join the organization, for example, when you join the civil service, you have to follow the code of conduct, all India service rules you have to follow. If you join in this IAS, IPS, IFS, you have all India service rules, right? That's what you need to follow. Now, this question was asked before, that you have to give an example from your life where you followed integrity. So once you understood the meaning, then you can give example, right? So I hope you will not face any problem in that. So honesty means being truthful. Integrity means consistency. That's the difference. There is no difference actually. Difference is one is at a point of time, the other every time, consistently. There is no double standard at any point of time. And predictable nature, that is very important. Okay, honesty means you can say uncorrupt. Today you may not be doing any such activities. Integrity means uncorruptible. Even others also will know that you are uncorruptible. That's when integrity is more understood. Okay, I hope that is clear. Second concept is impartiality. Impartiality or non-partisanship, or objectivity. It can also be connected to political neutrality. Okay, and no corruption. Everything can be connected to this. So what do you mean by this? See, as a civil servant, we are actually talking about what? We are talking about the foundational values for civil servants. So a civil servant, while discharging the public duties, should make decision solely on the basis of objective criteria. Okay, so you have to maintain objectivity. That means whenever you are taking any decision, for example, you may be appointing some person for any job, any temporary job. So what you need to consider, you have to consider the merit, you have to consider the rules and regulations, etc. So the point here is, civil servant, while discharging the duty, you have to take decisions solely only on the basis of objective criteria or the merit, the rules and regulations, etc. Sometimes that may not be possible. There you will see value conflict. Okay, and this situation is what we need to discuss in the case study. What you will do in that situation. So from there only they will take the thread and they will ask you case study. What you do in those kind of situations. So generally it is very easy to tell, right? You have to be impartial, you need to be non-partisan, you have to show that you have to be objective, take decisions on the basis of rules. Sometimes if you keep on following the rules, no decisions may be taken, no goals may be achieved. Okay, and he must not do so on the basis of any subjective bias or individual bias or any personal bias or you may be belong to one particular religion, so that will not be there. You may belong to a particular caste, so that bias should not be there. So that's what you mean by impartiality, non-partisanship, objectivity. No personal bias, no religious bias, no caste bias, no bias in your decisions. So work objectively based on the rules, regulations, and the merit or the objective criteria. So you can give different examples if the question is asked. Okay, so like you have to follow the merit. For example, two people may come to you for an interview. One may be your nephew or niece, etc. So you should not show the nepotism here. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you have to select this person because the public will think that this person is your nephew. No, whoever is satisfying the condition, or whoever is having the merit, you have to pick. Okay. So this kind of case studies you will get. We will come to that. I have the case studies even from the previous year also, case studies are there. So we will have to discuss those case studies. And examples also they can ask you from this context. So you are expected to follow the merit, not supposed to do any favor for any section. Any section means it can be caste, religion, relatives. That's relatives means what, that's what you call as nepotism. Okay, you are being favorable to the relatives or even friends. That should not be there, nepotism. Or even to corporates. That's what crony capitalism, favoring corporates. Okay, so and even within capitalism also there are differences. Some big capitalists will be there, big corporates will be there, small corporates will be there. So this main problem was this unholy nexus between the corporate class and the political administrative class. So you should be cut off from that. Decisions should be on the basis of objective criteria, no corruption. Okay, so this is what we need to discuss under impartiality. So political neutrality means what? That also we can discuss here. That word itself will tell you. Political neutrality means a civil servant, one of the precondition or one of the foundational value of civil servant is to remain politically neutral. You should not be an agent of any political party. This is very important. Civil servant is expected to remain politically neutral. So he should not make any decision based upon his bias with respect to any political party or any political ideology. So you don't want to stick to any political ideology. That's not desirable. Or you should not take decision on the basis of any political party also. Okay, so these are points that you need to remember under the impartiality discussion, the non-partisanship. Okay, political neutrality means you should not favor any political party. You should not have any political bias. Transparency, accountability will be easy for you. You may be knowing it already. Transparency, accountability. Now, what is the literal meaning when you talk about transparency? It is the openness, right? So civil servant is expected to act in an open manner while making decision and when he is discharging the public duty. So everything should be transparent. And to this end, civil servant should note down the principles and procedures that he have adopted in making the decision, and he should put the same in the public domain. All these may not be possible, but in the era of right to information and all, it has to be done, and it will be done. It will automatically get it done. So the minutes of the meetings to be recorded. So transparency means openness. Accountability means this is openness. Accountability means what? It is the answerability. So a civil servant is required to be answerable for their act of omission and commission. Whatever they do, they are answerable to the public. Whatever they do not do, that also you are answerable. Okay, so this is about answerability. Transparency is openness. This is answerability. Now, dedication to public service. I don't think that you need my explanation for this. Dedication to public service. So what you will write here, a civil servant is supposed to work for the larger interest of the society or larger public interest, and he should keep aside all his self-interest, the personal interest, nepotism, his caste, his religious ideas, okay, while he is discharging any public service. So it has to be done selflessness. So selflessness is very important here in this context when you discuss about dedication to public service. So in simple language, you can say you have to do the work selflessly, right? In the larger interest of the public, or for the larger public interest you have to work for. So you are paid for that, you are getting salary for working for the public. So it's not that you are doing some, something for the public out of your own will. It's not that. You are supposed to do that, and you are the person who are supposed to do that. It's not that you are doing or you are helping them. It's their right that you are giving, and you're a civil servant. So I hope that point is clear. So dedication to public service at the highest level of commitment is required towards discharging the public duties. So these are the main points: empathy, sympathy, compassion. We will discuss tomorrow. Any doubts here from this discussion? We can discuss now. 5 minutes, whatever we have discussed, we can have the doubt clearance now. So I'll go for a quick recap if you want. Aptitude means it's about the talent. Okay, it's about the ability, capacity, skill, inclination, talent, potential, knowledge. Any way you can interpret. Okay, you may have best aptitude for something, or some other person have moderate aptitude for that. Okay, low aptitude for that. Same person, if you take for two items, different levels of aptitude you can see. In one case, you may be best. On the other side, you may be having not that good aptitude. Okay, you may be good at science, you may not be good at maths, like that. Okay, so what is the advantage? Why we are talking about aptitude? Because it's about inclination. Once you have inclination, it is very easy to train you. That's why aptitude is checked through exams. And then you will be reaching at the full scale development. Okay, so that's about aptitude that we have discussed. Foundational values, I hope you understood. We mainly discussed about the Nolan Committee, and ARC is what we have discussed. Nolan Committee also will discuss, but almost all these are overlapping. So we discussed till this. I'll continue this tomorrow. Any doubts we can discuss now?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, with respect to honesty and integrity, is there a difference only for the truthful? Like when we talk about truthful only, we should be honest, or is there anything else also? Is there?
No, see, generally both are same. That's how people are understanding honesty. A man with honesty and man with integrity. That's how we interpret. So both are actually same. What is that common thing in both? Truthfulness. In both cases, your truthfulness. But when we talk about honesty, anytime at any point of time, right now I am talking truth. I am saying the truth. So honesty. But that doesn't mean integrity. I may tell good truth now. Tomorrow I may say false, right? I may not. I may lie. So that doesn't mean integrity.
Then what the question is the honesty and integrity is the characteristic of both is only truth? I mean, when you are talking truth, or is there anything else apart from the truth?
Like I've told you, when it comes to integrity, different dimensions are there. Like even from what you think to what you do, everywhere that should be there. In case of honesty, even you may think like you have seen you went to a mall, okay, and you have seen a wallet in the floor.
Yeah.
So in the mind, you want to take that wallet, but when you turn around, you see people are watching you. So immediately you take the wallet and, oh my God, I got a wallet. Whose is this? So that's your action. In action, you are honest, but in your thinking, you may not be honest. That's not integrity.
Okay.
Integrity is tested when nobody is watching you. Like that exact same case. Nobody is watching you. You see the wallet, and you think like I have to find that person and I have to give, and you act also like that. That's what integrity. Okay. So this is very simple topic. I think tomorrow we will complete this aptitude and foundational values, and day after tomorrow we'll start with moral thinkers. Okay, so we'll stop here. See you guys. Thank you.